In the bustling heart of Lagos, where the streets hum with the chatter of traders and the scent of roasted corn and puff-puff fills the air, a young woman named Amara carried her tray of freshly baked bread on her head. The morning sun beat down upon her slender frame, but Amara had long grown used to the demands of the street. She moved with grace and resilience, her brown eyes reflecting quiet strength, though life had never given her much. Amara was known along the busy Oberland market stretch as the bread girl with a smile. No matter how harsh the day, her face always carried a warmth that made even the grumpiest customer feel seen. Bread was her mother's trade, passed down after illness forced her to stop. Now it was Amara's means of survival. Life was simple for Amara, but destiny often works in mysterious ways. One fateful morning, as she balanced her tray and navigated through a crowded intersection, a sleek black Range Rover came to a sudden stop right in front of her. Startled, the tray tipped, sending loaves of soft bread tumbling to the ground. Gasps and murmurs filled the street. A flurry of honking cars and impatient voices rose around her as she knelt, desperately trying to gather the scattered bread, her heart pounding. From the car stepped a tall, impeccably dressed man, his aura commanding and unfamiliar to these dusty streets. His name was Damilola Adelik, a young billionaire known for his empire of tech companies and luxury estates, a man whose face regularly graced business magazines and television screens. But here, amidst the chaos, he was just a stranger with concerned eyes. Without hesitation, Damilola crouched beside Amara, helping her pick up the bread. The sight alone left onlookers speechless. Who was this man, and why would he stoop to help a poor bread seller? Their eyes met, and in that instant something shifted. There was a softness in Amara's gaze, a quiet resilience Damilola found rare in his polished high-society world. And for Amara, there was something unexpectedly kind in the way this stranger, with his expensive shoes and designer watch, handled the dusty loaves without a trace of disgust. "I'm so sorry," Amara stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "I didn't mean to." "No," Damilola interrupted gently, brushing flour from his palm. "I should be the one apologizing." He reached into his pocket, pulling out a thick bundle of Naira notes. "For the bread," he said. But Amara, shaking her head, pushed his hand away. "It's not right, sir. I can't take what I didn't earn." Something flickered in Damilola's eyes. He wasn't used to this, to honesty so fierce it stood taller than wealth. The crowd thinned, and for a moment it was just the two of them, two worlds quietly colliding. Neither of them knew it yet, but this unlikely meeting would weave a story neither money nor fate could have predicted. In the days that followed, Damilola couldn't shake something different, something real. In a world where people bowed before his wealth and status, Amara's refusal to take his money struck him like a fresh breeze in a suffocating room. He found himself driving past the market again, scanning the busy lanes, searching for the familiar figure with the bread tray. It wasn't long before their paths crossed once more. Amara was setting up her stand by the roadside, arranging loaves with practiced care. Her mother, Mama Neka, sat nearby, shelling groundnuts under the shade of an old mango tree. The market hummed with life, but Amara was too focused to notice the sleek black car until it stopped a few meters away. When Damilola stepped out, heads turned, whispers rippled. Who was this rich man coming to the bread cellar again? He approached with a small smile. "Good morning, Amara," he said, surprising her that he'd remembered her name. Amara hesitated, unsure. "Good morning, sir," she replied cautiously. "Please, call me Damilola." They stood in awkward silence for a moment before he spoke again. "I wanted to apologize properly. And maybe buy some bread too, if you'll allow it this time." Amara's lips curved into a shy smile. "Of course. The bread is fresh." He bought 2 loaves, though it was clear he didn't come for the bread. Slowly, day by day, Damilola began stopping by the market, sometimes to buy bread, sometimes to simply talk. To Amara's surprise, he wasn't arrogant like she imagined the rich to be. He laughed easily, asked about her day, even helped Mama Neka fix the broken leg of their old bench once. The market women began to tease Amara, calling her Madam Billionaire. Though she tried to brush it off, she couldn't deny that her heart fluttered each time she saw his car approach. Despite their growing friendship, Amara remained cautious. She knew the vast distance between their worlds. Men like Damilola belonged to glossy magazine covers, not dusty market corners. Still, she couldn't help but admire his kindness, how he spoke to her mother with respect, how he played with the street children who gathered around his car. One evening, as the sun melted into a golden haze, Damilola invited Amara to a charity event his company was hosting. "You deserve to be there," he told her. "Not as a guest, but as someone I'd be proud to stand beside." Amara hesitated, her insecurities rising like waves. "I don't belong in your world," she said softly. But Damilola's voice was steady, his gaze sincere. "Maybe it's my world that doesn't deserve you." For the first time, Amara allowed herself to imagine a different life, one where love wasn't defined by status or wealth. She didn't know what the future held, but in that moment, standing beneath the setting sun, she felt hope blooming in her chest. The night of the charity gala arrived, and Amara's heart thudded against her ribs like a drum. She had never stepped into a world so grand, a hall glittering with chandeliers, women in shimmering gowns, men in sharp tuxedos. Every corner radiated luxury. But what made her feel safe was the familiar, reassuring presence of Damilola at her side. Mama Neka had insisted on lending Amara a simple, elegant dress she had once sewn in her youth, saving it for a special day. Damilola's personal driver picked her up, and for the first time, she sat in the back seat of a luxurious car, nervously watching the city lights blur past. When she entered the hall, silence rippled through the crowd. Whispers filled the air like a quiet storm. "Who is she? Why is she with Damilola Aduk?" ***. But Damilola didn't care. He held her hand gently, his touch steady, introducing her to influential people as someone very special to me. He watched Amara blossom, her shyness giving way to quiet confidence. Amara marveled at the kindness in Damilola's colleagues' eyes, surprised at how warmly they received her. She spoke honestly, telling them about the market, the bread business, her mother's sacrifices. It wasn't polished or refined, but it was true, and it moved people in ways she didn't expect. Later that evening, as the event slowed and music softened, Damilola led Amara to the open balcony. The city stretched before them, lights flickering like scattered stars. "I brought you here tonight," he began, "because I wanted the world to see what I see, a woman whose heart is bigger than this entire city." Amara felt tears gather in her eyes, the weight of years of struggle and self-doubt softening under his words. "I don't care where you come from, Amara," Damilola continued, his voice thick with emotion. "I care about where we can go together. If you'll let me, I want to be part of your world, just as much as I hope you'll be part of mine." The sincerity in his words shattered the final walls around her heart. "I've been afraid," Amara admitted softly, "because people like you don't usually choose people like me." Damilola smiled, gently cupping her face. "Maybe they don't. But I do." In that golden moment beneath the night sky, Damilola kissed her. A promise not of riches, but of love that saw beyond wealth and status. The market girl and the billionaire, two hearts from different worlds, had found a way to meet. News of their unlikely romance spread, not as a scandal, but as a story of hope, that love, real love, could bloom in the most unexpected places. And for Amara and Damilola, this wasn't the end. It was the beautiful, romantic beginning of a life neither of them had ever dared to imagine.